Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call to order the Richmond City Council meeting for Monday, March 9th, 2026. May I have a motion on the minutes?
Moved.
All those in favor, opposed, carried. Any agenda additions or deletions?
None, your worship.
All right, so we're going to start off with the presentation. We'll call for it from the Parks Program, Claudia Crevino. Claudia?
Good evening, Your Worship, members of council, and honored guests. Tonight, I have the great pleasure of presenting to you the winning designs of the City of Richmond's 2026 Street Banner Program. This program is an initiative of Partners for Beautification, a community engagement program that encourages Richmond residents to take an active role in shaping a vibrant, beautiful city. Through the annual Street Banner Contest, the city supports grassroots creativity by inviting residents of all ages and artistic backgrounds to share original works that reflect what makes Richmond special. This year, we received 470 design submissions that celebrate 10 themes that represent our unique city and remind us why we are proud to live, work, and play in Richmond. The 2026 themes are active living, community, culture and heritage, discover, diversity, island city, nature, play, sustainability, and the arts. As in past years, a volunteer judging panel thoughtfully reviewed the submissions and selected a group of finalists. Community members were then invited to vote for their favorites on the City of Richmond's Let's Talk Richmond webpage. Over 5,700 votes were cast over a 2-week-long voting period to help determine the final collection we are unveiling this evening. Before we begin, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to our volunteer judges for sharing their time, expertise, and thoughtful deliberation in selecting this year's outstanding designs. Andrew Wade, performing artist and executive director of the Richmond Arts Coalition. Margot D'Souza, a local artist, Steveston resident for over 50 years, and the chair of the Richmond Artists Guild. Jessie Lee, a young artist and winner of the 2025 banner contest under the theme Play. Claire Scott, a local photographer and 2-time winner of the Richmond Banner Contest, most recently in 2025 for the Arts, Culture, and Heritage theme. And lastly, Lisa Tofolo, also a local photographer and 2-time winner of the Banner Contest, most recently in 2025 for the Island City theme. Your involvement and commitment is truly appreciated. Similar to previous years, each selected design is paired with a wordmark banner reflecting the image's theme along with the city's logo. You will see these wordmarks featured in the short videos accompanying each unveiling tonight. The banners unveiled this evening will be installed in select areas of Richmond City Centre and at key gateways throughout the city starting this week. They will remain on display until early 2027. Each artist will receive a certificate of recognition and a special keepsake bag created from recycled City of Richmond street banners. This evening, as each artist is recognized, we will invite them to come forward and reveal their design. After the reveal, they will be presented with their certificate and keepsake, take a photo, and remain standing to watch a short video featuring the artist reflecting on their inspiration and creative process. Once the video concludes, we will invite the artist to be seated before welcoming the next winner. With that, we will begin the 2026 Street Banner Unveiling. To present our first banner of the evening, may I please invite Your Worship Mayor Brody to take your place beside the first banner. Our first winning design, titled Guiding Lights, was submitted by Jasper Fruling. If the name sounds familiar, it may be because both his father and brother are past winners in the contest. Jasper, please unveil your banner.
My name is Jasper Fruling, and my banner is Guiding Lights. I was really inspired just by the aurora itself and the beauty of like the lights and how the community really came together as to come to Gary Point, everybody all at once. It was kind of like Canada Day. It was really nice to see. Yeah, well, the Fisherman's Memorial is really a symbol of the heritage of Steveston and how the fishermen really, it started out as a fishing village and now it's become a great city that I live in.
Congratulations, Jasper. To present our next banner, I invite Councillor Heed to come forward and join his worship. The next banner is titled Food for Thought, submitted by John Daniel Rosenthal. John, please unveil your banner. Well, let's see if we can get it down. The banner will be featured in the video as well. Oh. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. I'll do the photo. Maybe we can grab a photo at the end. Okay.
Hello, my name's John. This is Food for Thought. I was a cook for more years than I would care to say out loud, actually. And back in art school, I do remember first year, I remember our painting instructor would say, "Oh, what do you know?" And of course, we're all like looking around at each other. We don't know anything. I thought, well, I should try to work on some food because I do enjoy cooking. So I made 5 paintings that are stenciled, all related to food. People love food, and I think that kind of brings us together, really. I believe that to be true. Different spices and different textures or different shapes inside the noodles kind of define, I guess, who we are, what we bring to the table, as it were. So, yeah.
Congratulations, John. Thank you. May I please ask Councillor Hobbs to come forward for our third unveiling. The next banner is titled Steveston Village by Cecilia Song. Cecilia, please unveil your banner.
My name is Cecilia Song, and the title of my banner is Steveston Village. Since I live in Richmond, my mom often takes me to Steveston Village, and whenever I stand by the harbor, I see the whale watching boats, which is one of the most important things about the Richmond community. I started by drawing the whale, and then I just wanted to add more, so then I added, like, you see the boat that had like the shrimp on it, so then I wanted to add like so many more details that like really represent Richmond.
Congratulations, Cecilia. To present our next banner, I invite Councillor Liu to come forward. The next banner is titled The Living Palette by Garfield Wang. Garfield is unable to attend this evening. Accepting on his behalf is his friend Luna Liu. Luna, please unveil your banner, or Garfield's banner. Oh no. Oh, there it is.
Hi, my name's Garfield Wang, and the title of my photo is The Living Palette. I took this photo at Gary Point Park. It is one of the parks I visit most often in the city, and I think it's also a popular spot in the city as well. You can often see people walking, jogging, cycling, or even kayaking in the summer. The water that day was unusually still, and you can see a couple of people walking along the shoreline. And I think everything looked really quiet, and the changing light just turned that simple moment into something really looks like a palette of colors. So I hope people can see a little bit of their everyday life reflected in this image. This is a glimpse of how beautiful, how natural and charming the city is.
Congratulations, Garfield, and thank you, Luna. May I invite Councillor McNulty to assist with our next unveiling. This banner is called Autumn Girl Leaf Carving by Zoe. Zoe is with us this evening, but has asked that her son, Zhu Mo Chung, accept the recognition on her behalf. Zhu Mo Chung, please unveil the banner.
This vivid photograph of my leaf carving artwork shows a young girl with an apple-shaped face, wearing an apple-patterned dress and carrying ears of wheat across her shoulders on a crisp autumn day. She moves lightly through a grove of trees atop the wind-fire wheels of Neja from Chinese mythology. Neja, a legendary figure known for his bravery and magical powers, rides these wheels to travel swiftly across the skies. Inspired by family life, the design reflects years of gathering wild apples every autumn and transforming them by cutting, steaming, boiling, and baking into food to share with others. The quiet joy of repetition is something I wanted to elevate through art. Through leaf carving, I explore how beauty and happiness can emerge from ordinary tasks, and after several years of effort, I feel so fortunate that my work has been recognized by the community.
Congratulations, Zoe, and thank you, Zhu Mo Chung. Mayor Brody will present our next banner, submitted by Nelia Presley, titled Stained Glass Heron. Nelia, please unveil your banner. Give it a pull, yeah. Oh, there it goes.
Hi, my name is Nelia Presley. This is my banner, Stained Glass Heron. I wanted to make something colorful, something bright. I know the heron represents Richmond, so I chose that bird. I bought a bunch of acrylics and it's just on poster paper, very simple. I wanted it to look like a stained glass, so I tried to use just techniques that I know to make it look like a stained glass, and that's about it. Just using bright colors. Yeah.
Congratulations, Nelia. To present the next banner, may I invite Councillor Wolf forward. This banner is submitted by Greg Jackson, called Harrier on the Hunt. Greg, please unveil your banner.
This is a photo by Greg Jackson called A Harrier on the Hunt. This is Greg's photo, and he's super passionate about bird photography, and he spends a lot of time in the marshes on the West End.
The harrier glides silently, skimming the tops of the marsh vegetation, turning its head side to side, listening for prey. The artist wanted to show the mastery of flight movements. When the harrier zeroes in on its lunch, it will put on its air brakes by fully opening its wings and tail feathers, then go from a horizontal to a vertical position, dropping its extended talons and grabbing its prey.
Congratulations, Greg. May I ask Councillor Day to come forward? The next banner is titled Where the Water Feels Like Home by Cardia Chan. Cardia, please unveil your banner.
My name is Cardia Chan, and my banner is called When the Water Feels Like Home. It was like golden hour, and then my mom and I were like, oh, it's so pretty, so we set out to like walk by the water, and I think the boats were very beautiful, so I took a lot of photos. I think this shows how like the water is really part of our everyday life. Like it's something that I get to see every day, and it's like part of our neighborhood, so I think it shows how we're like an island city.
Congratulations, Cardia. To present our next banner, I invite Councillor Glanders to join us. Our 9th banner is called Catch of the Day by Catriona Day. Catriona, please unveil your banner. Pull firmly. Okay. We'll circle back to that one. Oh, there it is.
My name is Catriona Day, and the title of my banner here is called Catch of the Day. Being a little girl from Ontario going to the East Coast, I love the ocean, and I always wanted to learn about the ocean and study the ocean, which is the field I'm in to this day, and I help protect salmon, educate about salmon, and I think they're the eighth wonder of the world. They can swim thousands and thousands of kilometers, adjust from freshwater to saltwater and back again, and come back to the same spot they were born as an egg without their parents' help 4, 5, 6 years later. So they are incredible, and they're right in our backyard in the Fraser River, these amazing salmon. We all need to celebrate and understand in order to protect and conserve them.
Congratulations, Catriona. For our final unveiling of the evening, Mayor Brody will present the banner titled Pollinator Pasture by Vishna. Vishna, please unveil your banner. Keep pulling. Okay. It will be featured in the video, and we'll get a photo again at the end. Thank you. Do you want to get a photo for now? Okay. So we'll do the video. Oh, okay.
My name is Vishna, and the title of my banner is Pollinator Pasture. So my husband and I, we passed by this patch of wildflowers many times along Westminster Highway at the southern edge of Garden City Lands, and it caught my eye right away. And then finally one sunny day we decided to stop, and I spent time taking photos, and I really like the fact that this patch of wildflowers can thrive in the middle of an urban area. Well, what I like about this particular photo is that I think that even small patch of wildflowers that we can have in our own gardens can really support the pollinators, like bees, mason bees, butterflies. So we each can contribute.
Thank you, Vishna. I'd like to invite John and Councillor Heed back up to take a photo. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to present the full 2026 collection of street banners. On behalf of the city, I would like to extend our sincere congratulations to all of this year's banner winners and a heartfelt thanks to Your Worship Mayor Brody and members of council for your continued support in this cherished program. To the artist, through your creativity, you have helped transform our streets into an open-air gallery. Your art reflects the beauty, diversity, and unique spirit of Richmond. Thank you, and this concludes our 2026 street banner unveiling ceremony.
Well, thank you, Claudia. Thank you to all the winners. Thank you to all those who gave us submissions. You can tell from these banners, it must have been very, very difficult to judge the winners, but they are all outstanding. And we also want to say a word of thanks to the guys with the stepladder. Yeah. So anyway, well, thank you, everybody. We'll carry on with the rest of our agenda tonight. So may I have a motion to resolve into committee of the whole to hear delegations on agenda items? All those in favor, opposed, carried. All right. Okay, folks. Are there any members of the public who wish to delegate on items that are on the agenda? Anyone? All right, may I have a motion to rise and report? All those in favor, opposed, carried. Then we turn to the consent agenda. We have the receipt of the committee minutes, public art program for 2025 highlights, and the Art Advisory Committee 2026 work plan, the fuel purchases agreement, the award of a contract for managed print services, the additional information on homelessness, outreach, and community food programs. We have the response to Metro Vancouver's pre-consultation for Metro 2050 amendment options in response to the South of the Fraser Mayor's request, harmonization of the basic universal housing features with BC Building Code adaptable dwelling unit regulations. Then we have a housing agreement for the moderate market rental housing at 9,000 number 3 Road to permit the City of Richmond to secure moderate market rental units, and the housing agreement application by BC Housing and Polygon for Talistar developments on Kitcheson Court. May I have a motion to adopt those by general consent? Second. Moved and seconded. We'll go to speakers. Councillor Wolf.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just going to briefly speak to a few items. I do support everything on the consent agenda this evening. Just to highlight under item 6, the committee minutes, if anyone would like to see the video, there were 3 presentations at the start of the Parks, Rec, and Cultural Services Committee meeting that were of note. There was the Kwantlen Polytechnic University presentation about their annual growing plans at Garden City Lands. There was the Richmond Arts Coalition presentation, and then highlighting the 50th anniversary, the Steveston Historical Society presented their plans for the coming year. Item number 7, that's the Richmond Public Arts Program annual highlights and Public Art Advisory Committee work plan. Support all that. I just want to highlight that after that motion had passed, we also had a referral motion at Parks and Rec, which was to increase funding for public art program in relation to the community mural program, which also included potential increase to the DCCs. And then the last one I want to speak briefly to is item number 11. That was the response to Metro Vancouver pre-consultation. Just that I thank every councillor who spoke, which was all in support of staff's critique of the necessary, I think, response to what the South of the Fraser Mayors requested. And that's all. Thanks.
Councillor Liu.
Thank you, Worship. I too will be supporting everything on tonight's consent agenda. I just wanted to comment on one item, the response to Metro Vancouver's pre-consultation Metro 2050 amendment options in response to South of the Fraser Mayor's request. So what this is looking to do is essentially streamline the process by which municipalities, specifically Delta, Township of Langley, and Surrey, can make some adjustments to their urban containment boundary. So for many years, these have been essentially fairly rural or agricultural communities, and they're looking to make some big changes over the next few years, and it allows them more flexibility without necessarily getting as stuck at the metro table. So typically at the Metro Vancouver board table, some of these changes would require 75% plus one, or 75% vote in favor of it. And so this would reduce it to 50%, so as long as most municipalities and any municipalities that are impacted by their decision get to weigh in on it. And this just allows some streamlining of the process. So we'll be supporting it and letting it go forward to Metro Vancouver.
Councillor Day.
Thank you very much, Mayor Brody. Just wanted to speak on a couple of items. Item number 10 is additional information on homeless outreach and community food programs. This is a really important report, and we're accepting this for information tonight. It's making a difference. We're actually helping a lot of people. Currently, as of last year, there were 104 unsheltered folks and 71 that were sheltered. The food bank has over 10,005 individuals that they serve, which is an astonishing number. Number 11 is the response to Metro Vancouver. I have some serious concerns about their lack of planning for the Knight Street corridor, but at this point, this is just a consultation. But as we move forward, I think it's important that we have a route through Vancouver, and Oak Street's already developed, so that can't help them. Number 12 is the harmonization of basic housing features, and this is about making housing adaptable for people who have disabilities. This will allow for more space for wheelchairs and walkers to turn around, because if we build them too small, then what good are they to people who have physical disabilities? Number 13 is a housing agreement. Super excited about this. We're going to get 7 low-end market rental units, and it's a rental-only building. Number 11 is an agreement for a Talistar development at Ketchison Court, and this will allow for income-based housing for seniors and disabled folks and families, which we cannot ignore. Their needs are more severe than the regular renters. So I'm glad that we're addressing that, and that's it for me. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. With that, we'll call the question on the consent agenda. All those in favor? Any opposed? That is carried. And then there's just the one item that has been taken off the consent agenda, and that's the DCC and ACC public consultation update and referral response. The Finance and Audit Committee recommendation, incidentally with Councillor Wolf and me opposed, was that number 1, that option A, freeze DCC rates until March 2027 from the report that's in the package, be endorsed. Secondly, that the amendment DCC bylaw be brought forward to the inspectors of municipalities for approval, etc. And thirdly, that the staff be directed to bring back options for small-scale multi-unit housing rates. Someone want to move it? Move it. Second. So that's moved and seconded. Councillor Wolf.
Thanks, Your Worship. Yes, as you noted, I was in opposition to this at the Finance and Audit Committee, and I remain that way. I'll just very briefly first mention that what I said at that committee meeting, as well as the mayor, this pushes basically the cost of things to the taxpayers. So the next time we work on our budget and we look at our capital and operating budget and we decide the percentage that things could go up, that's potentially where this goes if we're deferring it at this stage. The bar graphs that were highlighted in this report on page 256 to 261, we got a copy of the exact bar graphs back in September before the most recent tax time. Nobody spoke up then that they weren't in favor of this. So to have it come all the way to this moment and then get kind of the rug pulled out from under it, I thought was quite surprising, and I guess that's the way things went. I also noted that in our report for tonight's package, the uses of the ACC are on page 234 and DCC page 225. To get a lot more information than what's in our package, our staff did give us a memo, and there's 2 very thick PDF files that were easy to look at and to get a whole lot more information on the value of going along with staff's recommendation. On the February 25th memo that we received, called Supplementary DCC ACC Information, staff referred to this as the benefitter pay principle. And that's why both the DCC and the ACC together are the right approach to have the benefitter pay, not the non-benefiters. It was brought up at committee that people don't want to buy things if things aren't already built and already open. That's not the way it's worked for a long time. It's not the way it's currently working in areas where Easton Community Center, the new version's not fully operational, programs aren't offered yet. Thankfully, we have staff creating that extra facility in the interim. But without that, there's a lot of rescheduling, shuffling, canceling of what people would be looking for in their community. Also highlighting in that memo that what was recommended was the balanced and modified approach that supports fiscal sustainability, mitigates cost impacts on development. There were a number of other highlights in here that this isn't even the best scenario out there. We at this stage were asked to reduce DCC and ACC potential scope and costs by not implementing things like fire protection and police. We hear a lot from council saying we are advocates for police and fire protection. Well, there's even more we could be collecting and staying on top of. Like, for example, out in Hamilton, there is no police community police office, and it looks like that's going to be a long time coming because there's no building being developed where that police office was supposed to be already in operation. So again, we're not finding ways to collect for that. We're deferring it and potentially never even coming back to this funding model. Yes, it might come back, but there's no guarantee. We're just pushing things down the road. And finally, the last thing I'll comment on, the focus of this was to be on parks programs. There's a number of things that can be highlighted with DCC or spent on with DCC funding. The park program costs had their last major update in 2016. Yes, 10 years ago. And this update was to allow for us to kind of catch up with park acquisition, park development programs, and now that opportunity has been squandered. So I'd wish more would look at the best practices guide that was available for elected officials, because for me it was very clear that that staff recommendations should have been supported. Thank you.
Councillor Liu.
Thank you, Worship. We put forward this option to freeze DCC rates until March 2027 because we can see what's going on in the development industry right now. Everything's grinding to a halt. Actually, the police office that Councillor Wolf is talking about in Hamilton is actually a developer, supposed to be delivered by the developer. They will be building it. They've ground to a halt because somebody's gone bankrupt and now we're dealing with that. But that's how they were going to pay their DCC, was by building it out. So typically what happens when you pay your DCCs, you redevelop your corner and then you pay your DCCs. Once all 4 corners redevelop, then we fix the whole intersection for everybody. Well, in some cases, the first redevelopment happened 20 years ago. Then the next one happens, and it might take 35 or 40 years. So one guy paid in, and we're sitting on that. So in some cases, we've actually had to go in and change the rate at which we bring forward certain projects. So for example, we brought forward fixing 5 and Cambie intersection. If anyone goes through 5 and Cambie, you know that that intersection has been fixed without all 4 corners having been redeveloped. So this is where your DCCs are coming from. This is how they get juggled around. We're essentially borrowing a little bit against our DCCs, but you imagine how many corners only one guy's redeveloped. So there is quite a bit of money sitting in our bank accounts waiting for those days where we're going to do the work. So Here's an opportunity for us to hold the line. When the economy gets better, we increase the DCCs. We went through this a few years ago when there was a boom. We raised the prices. We doubled the DCCs in some cases quite quickly, and the industry kept up with it. Right now, the industry's hurting. We're hearing it from all the builders. We're seeing bankruptcies happen. We need some of these buildings to keep moving forward. We need people to still have jobs. We need the electricians, the plumbers, the framers. We need people working. This is part of our GDP. 30% of our GDP is building and construction. Well, those are jobs, and those are jobs here in Richmond, and that's what we're looking after by doing this.
We have to bear in mind what DCCs are. DCCs are to somewhat pay for the cost of future growth. And so if you buy a new premises, you have to pay for some of the added infrastructure that is needed. But in fact, over the years, every time we adjust DCC rates, I hear the same litany of complaints from UDI and the development industry, when in fact, the DCCs are a relatively small part of the cost of development. It's a very small percentage. Most of the cost is in the land and also the cost of actual construction. We need to keep up with getting the DCCs from the development community. These aren't just fanciful costs that we are collecting for. This is for the actual costs of that growth and the growth in our infrastructure. And there was a time when this council would understand that, yeah, we need the developers, we need the development community, we need them to build, all that kind of stuff. But in fact, when times are good, they don't offer us extra DCCs. This is a very small part of their budget. Their projects will go forward regardless of whether we increase the DCCs as we have previously indicated or not. So to freeze the DCCs, I think, is adding an extra administration burden. And I just think that we are, it's not a productive way that we will support development. We have to support development in our community in other ways and work with them. So I'm not going to be supporting, I'll support number 2 and number 3 because they do follow and we need to have those things. But I'm not going to vote to support a freeze on the DCC rates. I think as recommended by staff, I think it was to increase the DCC rates as of the end of the year or the beginning of the year. And I think that that's the way it should stay. Councillor Day.
Thank you very much, Mayor Brody. I did support the freeze because we were seeing a number of projects that have either been stalled or canceled, and we desperately need to have more rental housing in Richmond, and I would like to see those developments go forward. Now, what is a DCC? For the person who maybe doesn't read the binders that we have to read, it's a development cost charge, which means a developer has to pay for the upgrades, roads, fire hydrants, police, etc. But assuming that the DCC collection of $15 million per year is frozen, it would result in $750,000 less in DCC by freezing it. So it's not like this is going to, it's not like we're going to give away the farm here. We're just not going to increase it. We're still going to get the $15 million. And given the economy and everything that's going on today, I think that's a wise choice. I wouldn't agree with freezing it every year, but we see what's happening across Canada, in fact, what's happening across the world. And I think for this particular time in place, this is a wise decision. So I'll be supporting the motion.
All right. So I'm going to separate out and call the question on item 1. All those in favor? Those opposed? So that is carried with the mayor and Councillor Wolf opposed. On items 2 and 3, all those in favor? Any opposed? So that is carried. That brings us to public announcements. First of all, we have a few announcements coming from closed council meetings. These ones were a little while ago. We have 5-year service agreements were signed with the Richmond Arenas Community Association and the Minoru Seniors Society. Also, we have the 2026 appointment to the Advisory Design Panel. Appointed is Allison Liu, and that is for the remainder of a 1-year term to expire at the end of this year. Then we have the Friends of the Library. They have a whale of a book sale. The Friends will host their popular book sale March 14th and 15th at the Thompson Community Center. The sale will offer a wide range of selections of affordable English and Chinese books for all ages. Sale proceeds support Richmond Public Library, and attendees are encouraged to bring cash in their own bags or boxes. So if you want to get full event details, go to the Richmond Public Library website / Friends of the Library. Then we have the Minoru Park Vision Plan. Public engagement is now underway for this vision plan, helping guide the future of one of Richmond's most treasured community parks. The final of the 3 open houses takes place on Thursday, March 19th, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m., and the public is invited to share input both in person and online. So go, if you want to hear more about that, go to letstalkrichmond.ca. And finally, we've got spring break coming up. Make the most of the school break with swimming, skating, nature adventures, workouts, exhibitions, and more. Explore exciting day camps, drop in fun and registered activities designed to keep every day fresh and memorable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Enjoy a wide range of in-person and online programs for all ages, including crafts, music, fitness, dance, languages, social events, and sports. So if you want a full list of the activities that you can enjoy and take part in over the spring break, go to our website, which is richmond.ca/spring break. So with that, bylaws for adoption.
Thank you, Your Worship. There are 2 bylaws for final adoption with no opposition.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. And the Development Permit Panel.
Thank you, Your Worship. There are 2 recommendations. Recommendation 1, that the minutes of the Development Permit Panel meeting held on February 25th, 2026, and the Chair's report for the Development Permit Panel meeting held on June 11th, 2025, be received for information. And recommendation 2, that the recommendations of the panel to authorize the issuance of development variance permit for the properties at 12791, 12951 Blundell Road be endorsed and the permit so issued.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. So may I have a motion to resolve any committee of the whole to your delegations on non-agenda items? All those in favor, opposed, carried. We have now 1 non-agenda delegation, Alex Sager, who wants to delegate with respect to Brighouse Park Public Safety. Okay, so Mr. Sager, you know the rules. Introduce yourself, and you've got 5 minutes.
Good evening, Alex Sager, V73L2. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Alex Sager, and I'm here tonight to speak about the recent violent incident that took place in the homeless encampment at Brighouse Park, an encampment that the City of Richmond has allowed to exist less than 15 meters from a youth baseball diamond. Let me repeat that. Less than 15 meters from where children play baseball and other sporting activities. Only days ago, police responded to a violent incident where a person was reportedly stabbed just steps from the washroom doors at the Brighouse Park Pavilion. This is no longer a hypothetical concern. This is a serious public safety issue. Brighouse Park is a public facility that is now effectively being held hostage by inaction. This park used to be a vibrant community space. Friday nights mean AAA baseball underneath the lights. Kids played in the lacrosse box. Families gathered around the pavilion. The park was alive. But instead of protecting that space, the council spent almost $600,000 on what was described as a revitalization project. A revitalization that ironically resulted in a field that is now so underutilized that the only association in Richmond that runs with baseball teams refuse to use it. Why? Because the field has been deemed unsafe by the association itself. And I want to be clear here. I have raised these concerns directly with city staff. I've had multiple meetings with Egan Davis, manager of park operations, and Todd Gross, director of park services. During those meetings, I repeatedly heard how much the park had supposedly been revitalized. But the reality on the ground tells a very different story. If a park is truly revitalized, families use it. If a park is revitalized, sports associations feel safe bringing kids there. If a park is revitalized, we are not responding to violent incidents steps away from a youth sports field. So it is clear that the claim that this park has been revitalized simply is not true. I also want to point out something that I find deeply troubling. When I've spoken in this very chamber before about this situation at Brickhouse Park, members of council have stated that Brickhouse Park is not an issue. After what has just occurred there, I think it is clearly that it is absolutely an issue. And the fact that these warnings were dismissed makes the situation even more concerning. The scale of these recent incidents should make that very clear. The police crime scene stretched from the parking lot, past the area beside the bathrooms, and all the way to the third base side dugout and spectator stands. The entire stretch of the park, an area where families sit and children play baseball, was part of an active violent crime scene. This is supposed to be a community sports facility. Instead, it is now a location of violent police investigations. While we could spend a long time talking about the situation that resulted in this underutilized facility being revitalized, tonight I want to focus on the most urgent issue, public safety. When someone can be violently assaulted from 5 feet from the washroom doors of a public pavilion, this is no just longer a parks planning issue. It's a public safety failure. So I have to ask council a very simple question. What is it going to take before action is taken? Is it going to take a child getting hurt before the council finally acts? Because right now the situation sends a disturbing message to families that a violent crime besides a youth sports field is somehow acceptable. It is not. And tonight I'm not here to just raise concerns. I'm here to seek action. I'm calling on council to take immediate decisive steps to restore safety at Brickhouse Park. Immediately suspend all reservations and bookings from Brickhouse Field until the park can be verified as safe for public use. Direct staff and bylaw to immediately address and remove encampment that has developed beside a youth sports facility. And third, conduct a full public review of the nearly $600,000 that was spent on the so-called revitalization of this park, because it is clear that the results have been a field that the community cannot safely use. This situation should have never been allowed to reach this point, but unfortunately it has, because I've stood in this chamber many times before warning council that Brickhouse Park was heading in exactly this direction. Those warnings were ignored. This council has become a reactive council. Problems are ignored until they become crisis. And now we are seeing the consequences of that approach. The community deserves a council who acts before public spaces deteriorate, not after they become crime scenes. Brickhouse Park should be a place where parents feel safe bringing their children. Right now, it is not. Council has dropped the ball on this issue, but you still have the opportunity tonight to start fixing it. Restore safety, restore accountability, and restore Brickhouse Park, the community that it was meant to serve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. May I have a motion to rise and report? Well, I'm going to call the question. No, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to call the question on rising and reporting. All those in favor? Any opposed? That is carried. Councillor Day, you had some question.
Yeah, just a question. I was just told by the speaker that there was a homeless encampment, but we have a memo of March 6th that says there are currently no individuals sheltering overnight in the park. So and then I looked at the report tomorrow for the safety committee meeting, and according to the report that we're going to hear tomorrow at community safety, in January there were just 26 drug-related offenses, which is a 19% decrease from December. And year to date, the offenses are down 7%. So I'm hearing one thing from a speaker, but I was wondering if staff could elaborate, because it seems as though things are getting a lot better.
Who can? Okay, hang on. There you go.
through your worship to Councillor Day, the statistics that you articulated are accurate. Yes, the situation is improving. Brighouse Park is safe. And I would also point out the incident that was referred to by the delegation occurred at 3 a.m.
Okay, so clearly not when people were playing baseball. Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Mr. Craig, did you have something more?
Just wanted to confirm through you, your worship, there is currently nobody camping in the park.
All right, thank you very much. Someone move adjournment. We are now adjourned. Thank you.